Hello everybody, here with Marcus today. He has a Superheavy Sam deck for us.
Hey, what's up? Marcus. I played Superheavy Samurai at the Broken Arrow Regional in Oklahoma on May 27th, and I did go X3, but happened to be the same day that the ban list dropped, and they banned my boy. But the deck did perform pretty well, and I want to kind of share my experience with it and my build, because I felt like it was a little different from a lot of people's idea of the solved deck. But yeah, basically you've got all your starters right there. Those are all the ones that you want to open in your hand for starting, is the 3 Wakaushi, Bike, or Piercer. And I only played 2 Wagon because I hate this card. If you start your combo with this card, it pretty much is begging to be hand trapped. So I just cut it to 2 because I wanted to be able to play, like, honestly, if you open this and 4 hand traps, like, chances are you're better off just passing with 4 hand traps in your hand and hoping you draw a better card next turn. So yeah, I just cut it to 2, and I honestly didn't miss the 3rd one, like, at all. And then the other super heavies is the 2 Monk Ben-K Pendulum. You gotta play 2, unfortunately. And then I also played a Soul Gaia, Stealthy, and Scales, and then I only played 1 Peacemaker for the event. I was on 3. I was playing 3 of this for like probably a week and a half leading up to the event, and then the day before I just kind of was like, you know what, man, I'm playing the Tunneler build, so I only need 1 to resolve the combo, and you can shuffle it back with the Tunneler and draw more cards. So, like, realistically, if you're never going to go full combo anyways, I'm just going to play the 1 guy and not put him to 3 and potentially break my hand. And even with the 1, I still bricked on it every once in a while. So I felt like this was a pretty good lineup for the Super Heavy Samurai monsters. And then the generic machines, mained the 1G Zakiru, Regulus, Tunneler, and Box. I tried playing the deck without Tunneler and Box for a little bit, and to me, it just isn't good. It's like again, realistically, in that meta, you were never going to go full combo. So, like, if you were going to actually go full combo, you can insulate it so hard, or you can actually just open one of these 2 cards and go combo anyways. I did cut the Gear Gigant X at some point, so Tunneler came up a little bit less than normal, but like Pot of Avarice is just too good. If you play this, it's like you play these 2 cards and you can also cut literally like 6 cards out of here, like not that much, but you can cut a lot of cards out of there just by playing this little engine here. So I found it very valuable, and it worked for me like all day. So I don't think you should play this deck without this, at least before Scarecrow gets banned. And then the Regulus and the Jizakiru. Opening Regulus is insane, because you can just search the Kaiju in front of your opponent. But then the part of the deck that actually matters: 3 Gamma, 3 Ash, 3 Droll, 3 Ogre, 3 Mourner, and 3 Nib. I played 18 hand traps.
Hella.
And a driver for the event. I thought this was fitting, and I never didn't have hand traps. That was the thing, was I knew I was like, I have to open at least 2 if I want to be able to go second, because obviously you can't play board breakers hardly at all in this deck, and I was very limited. I wasn't able to get my hands on any Fenrir's or anything, so all these hand traps did exactly what I wanted them to do. It's just really hard to prepare for a meta where you've got like 7 top decks, so I felt like this really covered it. And I really enjoyed the main deck Nibiru. A lot of Cash Tira players, they're gonna combo going first, I think. At least at this regional they did, and then you nib them and then side out the nib, because obviously next game they're probably just gonna go for a Rise Hard Pass. And that's exactly what happened to me in my cash matchup for the day. So that seemed to be a good call. Yeah, and then extra deck, I only played 3 synchros. These 3 guys. I cut the Savage Dragon. Savage seemed like win more at the time, because like I said, you're never going full combo, and if you do go full combo, you're probably already winning the game. So you really don't need the Savage Dragon, especially when you're going to be drawing 2 off of Tunneler. You have 18 hand traps in your deck. It doesn't really matter. Omni Negate or no Omni Negate, they're not going to be able to break your board. So I just played these 3 synchros. This was the best card all day, hands down, literally just amazing, insane. It never even helped me in time or anything, but there was a point where I stalled that Kashtira player with Sarutobi, and I burned him 4 times in 4 turns, and it knocked his life points so far down that all I had to do was, once I made Baron, I just popped and swung and it was game. So yeah, these 3 synchros did not disappoint. I don't recommend Savage Dragon for this deck, in my opinion. And then I played 4 XCs. So I played the Zeus, the Sargus, Merrymaker, and Baguska. I really didn't make these all day, honestly. I thought about cutting them, and I wish I had, because I never made them like all day. It was never in the cards for me. But these 2 went off constantly. My Kashtira matchup, I was able to turn his guys to defense with Baguska and then attack with Sarutobi into one of his Ixies guys and then make Zeus. So yeah, this card was just made for this deck. It's insane. You can play around Baguska constantly. I was literally able to go halfway through my combo against a Dark World player when he made Baguska against me, and then it was fine. Not even a problem. 2 Link 4s, and then these 2 guys, nobody expected this. A lot of people really thought that Superheavy had a really solved extra deck, and that was kind of true, but I really didn't like the solved extra deck. I felt like there was 0 room, so I just cut the Omega and the Savage Dragon, and I played these 2 cards instead, and it did me good all day. And then I played 3 Link 2s. This was generic for if I got like Ibly locked or something and I had to normal summon and link it off. But it was also because Gamma was at 3 for the event, so you open Gamma and it doesn't really work for you because realistically nobody's playing into it. You just add the Lambda on the end of your board. And then the boy, rest in peace, gone too soon.
Way too soon.
It was not necessary. Konami really didn't have to go that hard for it. And it really sucks because this is like probably my favorite deck I've ever played. There's a lot of people potentially quitting the game over this. That's just how wrong it was of Konami to do that.
I gotta agree with that. Deck wasn't even really around for many events. They didn't get a chance to really even show what they really could have done. It's really sad.
Yeah, I don't even think they even won a championship yet. Like, I think they topped a few regionals and got first at a few regionals. I don't even think they won a championship yet, and that's just wrong.
For real.
It's just wrong. It was just because Konami wanted to push their other product. Honestly, this deck was super budget if you already had all the staples. So, yeah, really messed up of Konami to do that. But anyways, in the side deck, I played 3 Crow, and I had the option of playing Bystials. But I chose Crow instead, and I thought that it was a good choice because of Pirelli. I did not get matched up against any Pirelli today, but when I did side in Crow, it absolutely worked exactly the way I wanted to. I felt like I didn't really even miss the body from the Bystials at all, just because whenever you do use this against somebody, like it usually makes a difference. So I played 3 Crow. I played 3 Lancia in the side. This absolutely won me my Kashtira matchup. There was a point where I think in game 3 I bricked against him, but all I had was like 4 or 5 hand traps or something, and I had this and I had Gamma in my hand, and I was about to say pass, and then he said main phase shifter, so I Gamma'd him, and then I made Baron, and then passed, and then I Lancia'd him, and he couldn't really do anything through Lancia Baron, and then next turn I top decked and I still couldn't play the game, so I passed, and then in his standby phase I tagged out Baron for Lancia, and then I Lancia'd him again, and it was amazing. I stalled him exactly as long as I needed to win that game. 3 Eccentric is what I played, and honestly I just wish I didn't play it. 5 Rainbow never really came up, and this is not the best back row out that this deck has. The Fluor Orchid package is honestly just much better, but I couldn't get it for the event, and this really never made a difference. The 1 back row deck I did play against, I didn't even draw it. Yeah, so sucks only playing monsters. And then I played a Pancratops and I played an Alpha. This was purely for going second. Sometimes I would side this in going first, but I never did that day. I always put these in going second because they're kind of just really good for going second. You throw them on the board and bounce something, threaten an Arise Heart, something like that. And then I played 4 Kaijus. When you're only playing monsters, it's really hard to go second. A lot of times monsters can't push through a big board or a branded board or something like that. The 4 Kaijus and the Alpha and the Pancratops really came through for me. I don't think I ever drew Alpha, but I drew the Kaijus a lot because you side in 4, keep the Jizukiru. You have 5 Kaijus in your main deck for going second, so you get Baguskud, or you get Abermax, or you get some kind of Towers, Noir, or something like that. You usually always draw an answer to it between all these cards. So I was very happy with the side deck. It worked for me very well all day. My matchups were really not that great. I played against an okay bit of meta, but my first couple rounds were against Rogue, and it set me off for the whole day. I went 0-2 for the first 2 matches, and then I just won from there out until I went X3. And the deck really performed well against everything that I played against. I played against Tierlament, I played against Branded, I played against Cash, and I was really prepared for all of it, and I felt really good. But the very last match of the day that I played, I bricked against the Branded player, and then game 2, game 1 I couldn't play through his board, and then game 2 I bricked and he puppet locked me, and I was like, wow, okay, he kept the puppet in going second. That's crazy. But whatever, man, GG. And that was kind of just the end of it. I dropped for the day. The deck did do really well, though, and I felt like this is the best build that I could produce. And I'm proud of myself. And Rupus Scarecrow.
Indeed.
Probably going to pivot to Branded now.
Seems legit.